Welcome back to the Monster Energy Dreamhack Studios. We are live here with the panel after having had the first series of the night. It was, of course, Complexity, who was able to beat Moscow 5 in 2-0. 2-0 with a note of that the first game was maybe not entirely theirs if it wasn't for connectivity issues.
I think the second game was so convincing that we might let them away with it.
I would agree. I think if there was another game, they would have been able to bring the same thing again. Obviously, I don't know how much Moscow 5 suffered, like mentally, in terms of how that went.
Well, it was like an hour and 40-minute game as well, even though it was only an hour game.
Yeah, it was not even easy for Complexity either. I mean, let's get that straight. So, first game, or rather first series done. Everybody's predictions were wrong.
I mean, had it not been for the unfortunate circumstances, my prediction might have been correct. So.
Yeah, had it not been for unfortunate circumstances, my correction might have been correct.
All right, I guess you can turn it like that.
I don't know. You're 2-1, 2-0. Yeah.
At least we predicted that Complexity would win this series, right?
Yeah.
So in that sense, we win.
We're great.
Yeah.
Well played.
Yeah. Well, great.
I'm glad I jumped ship, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Well, great. That's amazing.
They did look good, though, in game 2.
Oh, very strong.
True. We actually do have a couple of moments of that game, so we are going to the drawing board.
Here we are with my drawing board, probably the most analytical and educational part of the show. And as you can see here, we have the greatest team fight. Look, wait. We can zoom in on it. Look at this. It actually spins, which is really cool, but also quite dangerous at the same time. All right, so okay, we'll pause here for a second. Script. Yeah. So Shiver was drawing on my board, and Chessie as well. As you can see, Shiver's horse actually quite good. My Troll Warlord, not as good. Needs a bit of work.
I thought it was just a little man.
Because this is a team fight of 40 minutes, and this is like. When you see the power of the Troll Warlord in this team fight. So, all right, so Chessie, you see this team fight. You see Troll against Bristleback. Okay.
How far are we into? 42 minutes into the game now? Is this when I have Satanics and Aegis?
Yes, exactly, yeah. Yep. And you see, he just mans up completely. He is not afraid. So let's play it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
This is a long team fight. It's about 50 seconds long.
It takes so long before someone actually dies.
Yeah. The thing is, they try to go for the troll here just because they know that
he Laguna Blades him, uses everything. So
but it's because they know that they have Zeus all the way over here, and all the heroes are not here either.
So if we have a look at the mini-map down, oh god, okay, we have a look down here, we can see how far away Zeus is.
Yeah. But they cannot force to go for him, right? Either they go for him or they run, but they can't run away from the troll.
You can't run from troll.
Yeah, it's too fast.
Yeah. By this time, Troll has already taken so much of the heat. And Lina is finally gonna be the target.
Lina's already used all the spells.
Lina's done. Like she used everything. She has to, like, in theory, she has to move back, wait for some spells to come off cooldown, and then come back in. But I don't think she's gonna be able to do that.
And the funny thing is, the Zeus in this team fight has refresher up the whole time, but he's like not even panicking. You know what I mean? He's like, I don't even need to use it right now. He didn't have his ulti up, and
they're still in Aegis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're still in Aegis.
Okay, let's play this.
Yeah, but he almost killed Aegis though. Then it's Satanic up.
This is actually the scariest thing in the entire world. Yeah. When you have a Troll Warlord running at you with the BKB on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he gets. Yeah. Okay. We gotta stun in on the.
And Zeus still hasn't ulted, mind you, in this fight.
He was so patient. I can't believe that. If we see pause it here, we can see on the back of the fight. Zeus comes in. He ethereal blades up the Dazzle. Can we pause it, Scriff? And while this is happening, the Sand King like blinks in and gets off a nice epicenter, even though the Lina got off his BKB. So like this is a really chaotic fight, but what we see is Complexity's. Oh god. No. I double clicked. Okay, no one panic. Complexity's maneuverability in the fight, because Sand King also has a blink dagger, and so does the Troll Warlord, and we see it here. Like Lina has two of his teammates right beside him, so you're like, look, he's okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. Play, please, Scriff.
And now it's like 8 seconds cooldown on the Zeus ult or something like that.
And like the whole time he's not panicking. Then all of a sudden Troll, he's like, okay, I'm gonna kill you, Lina. Blinks off into the distance.
Yeah. Now he's almost dying, so now it's like, oh shit, I have to pop my refresher now.
And now it's time for Zeus.
Yeah, he just destroys everybody. Yep. Let's pause here. And just take a moment.
That's a perfect time to pause, actually.
Yeah.
Lina is the first one to die in this team fight, by the way, which has already gone on for such a long time.
Vengeful Spirit's like, oh, I'm fine. You know, I'll be alright, I'll just TP you home. Then, all of a sudden...
Play?
Let's have a little play. Oh, he's at home. Oh. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
He can't run from heaven.
You're all dead.
They're all
literally
dead.
The patience, like he didn't get the refresher ult off in the end, but he was so patient. And then again, the chase from Sand King. Like that's the one thing Moscow 5 lacked so much was initiation.
Yeah, no pick-up potential at all.
And no chase. Like look at the chase they have. Clockwork hooked in from miles away again. Like you
Sand
can't
King,
escape.
Blink, Burrow Strike.
Yeah.
Mirana leaps, Mirana arrows.
As you said earlier, the only kind of initiation they do have in this spot is the Lina with the Yule. So Lina has to be in the front against all of these heroes. The Troll Warlord, the Sand King, the Clock. He's just gonna die if he goes up first.
And that's exactly what happened.
Yep.
She died first.
And they even, I'm pretty sure they killed Dazzle. Like look, he's like, I might. Yeah, okay, you're not escaping. Even at your tier 4 towers, like, oh my god.
Yeah, we are actually going to be able to have a winner's interview. It is Melons that we're going to talk to, so let's go to the interview with the winner. Hello, Melons. Are you there?
Oh, hi.
Hi, you're there.
I'm here.
Congratulations on winning your
fears.
fears. Oh yeah, I did say hello. Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Apologies. Oh, hi, Chessie. It's good. I'm so glad
up?
you're doing this, man. I was really happy when I saw you on the casting couch.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm having a good time.
So congratulations on your match. First game, I actually want to ask a question about that. There was Phoenix on the other side, and you had like this big team fight lineup. How did you deal with the Phoenix in that game? I mean, I'm talking about the first half of the game when everybody was still there, of course.
I don't think we really did very well. That was like the main issue with our draft is we didn't have any counter to Phoenix, and we took a couple really poor team fights. Like the one wraparound they did on our tier 1 top was a huge momentum swing in the game, and it seemed that every fight, like they surprised us with a Shadow Blade mid, and then we lost that fight. And then bottom Brax they took because we didn't realize Phoenix had Ag, so we're like, oh, Shadow Fiend's dead, and then he was full health with all his abilities up again. So that was pretty grim. But the idea was to just kill it with Axe and Storm when they BKB'd once we hit the late game. And that's really not what you want to do as a Phoenix counter.
Yeah, there was a few team fights where you kind of seem to be splitting up your attention, and some of you were attacking the egg and some of you weren't. Like, is there any points in the game where you're like, okay, listen to me, I need to make the call here, you guys need to do this, or like, or did anyone?
Oh no, we were screaming egg. We were screaming egg, or we were ignoring. But there were a couple times I think it lived with 2 health mid, and then
That
one
was really
attack at
unfortunate.
some other point. Yeah, it's such a crazy turn of events too, because if the egg goes down, you pretty much win the fight, and if it doesn't, it's just so much damage.
There's so much pressure on that one thing. Like, I remember
it's one of the only Dota mechanics like that, I feel.
Yeah, there was a team fight in the Dire Secret shop where you were like one second away from the egg popping. Like, it was so tense.
Yeah.
Like,
Could have turned the entire fight around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so like grave. It's just really, it's just so tilting when it goes against you. You don't really know what to do. You're just like, oh damn it, because then everybody's stunned. Because the worst part is if you're attacking it, everyone's gonna get stunned because you're trying to kill it, and it just backfires really hard, and it's not fun.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to ask you a question about your roster now, because you obviously had some changes in your roster lately. But I saw that Ryze was back again, and I also told Shane before this game that Ryze plays an excellent Enigma, and you picked up the Enigma in the first game as well. So is Ryze going to be permanent on your roster now, or what's the deal?
We personally, I'd like him to be. I mean, I think the statistic is that we've played with like 37 different players since he left us.
That's great.
37.
37. However, to be fair, we've only signed, like, again, people, you know, it's not really roster switching because we haven't signed the players. We just kind of try people out, and there's a lot of players that don't need very long tryouts.
Do you just feel initially that he's like a really good fit straight away? Like,
he's always been a good fit. I mean, I've known the guy for like 4 years, and he switched over from Han with us. He was, I mean, Chessie will tell you, when we had an issue with our roster back in Han, he was the first guy I asked to come join our team, and he turned me down.
Big mistake.
Yeah. He's told me that it was a mistake in the past because his team ended up switching to Dota and leaving him out to dry and just obslord. But he's a really good guy and a really good player, so we hope that he chooses to play with us. He's kind of just not sure if he'll find it fun. It's kind of like a bulldog situation. He isn't sure if he has like the motivation, but we'll see how it works out. I mean, Chessie, you feel like playing with us yet? You feeling better, man?
One day, maybe. One day. We'll see.
I How do you select players like that? Like, where do you find them? If you try 37, where do you get them?
A bunch of different ways. I mean, Zizzy is the only guy we've signed since then, since Moon left. Well, really the first person we've signed in like 6 months. And he was just a friend of a friend, just said, hey, this guy is really good and he's the kind of guy you're looking for. And I ended up just talking with him on Skype. Ended up being like a 4-hour conversation. We tried him out the next day and I was like, please let this guy be good. And he is. So we look for a really specific, or at least I look for a really specific set of attributes in players, because I mean I'm crazy enough to believe that my team can win a TI and we're trying to win 2, which sounds really far-fetched, but that's what we're trying to pursue, is to be the best.
But that's what you have to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't believe, you might as well not try.
Strive to be the best.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
So in my opinion, you have to have a really good attitude. You have to be able to dedicate pretty much your life to Dota. Like, you can't really have any distractions if you want to really pursue that goal. And then, the least important, in my opinion, is talent. It's mostly, Chessie could probably explain it better once I leave, but just Dota knowledge
and skill and
drive.
Yeah. Communication is huge. There's a lot of players, like Dragonfist as an example, was incredibly talented, but had a real issue communicating proactively. And it's very difficult to plan out strategies when you don't really have anything coming from such a crucial member of your roster.
And connections. Loads of connections. Get them connections.
They definitely play a part. There are certain players in the scene that are still a part of the scene because they've always been a part of the scene, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. There's a lot of old school players that are still doing really well. And there's lesser new blood coming in purely because they don't have the connections in that way. Makes sense.
The roster building is really a lot of luck. I mean, on paper, our best roster was when we were playing with Fogged and Fly, and then we just shit the bed, and then we played with a random Romanian, and suddenly we were playing better, and now we're playing with Fly and Riser. So again, I hopefully we'll stay together with this team. I really like it, and we're moving into a team house in about a week.
Oh wow!
And we hope that that'll increase our talents as well.
Well, that is definitely, you're on the right track. I mean, you already made it through the quarterfinals of this qualifier. You're going to face either Burden United or Team Crucial tomorrow. And any predictions for our next match? Because that's the one that we're going to watch next.
I would have to give it to Burden United. It's not Minuts' birthday, so I'm fairly certain. And I think that'll increase their chances of winning. Oh, yeah. I personally playing with a ringer is really, really not good. It's just, especially if it's unplanned, your team's just not as good. And it's not necessarily like the viewers don't really understand the importance that each member on a team has. And you don't really know who's the key figure unless you're like in the Skype listening to how they prepare, how they interact throughout the games. Just removing one person can totally, make people worse.
Have you heard anything about Team Crucial at all? Like, have you heard anyone that scrimmed against them, talked about them, anything?
Not really, but they're Polish, so they've obviously got superpowers.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's a good way of looking at it. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Of course, good luck in your semifinals tomorrow, and have a good evening.
All right, thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Thank you. Because we are going to go on with the show. We have got a second series coming up. It will, like I said, Team Crucial taking on Burden United. And I'm actually really curious to hear from you guys. What are you expecting to see from this matchup?
I'm expecting a lot of fun. That's what I'm expecting. Sing and Minus' team. Minus is a good friend of mine as well. And I think it is a really good player and captain. So I think they will do very well in their matchup. I don't know too much about Crucial, of course. But
well, we do actually are able to see what Burden